When you hear the word foreclosure, what picture comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's a rundown house with broken windows, outgrown weeds, peeling paint, and thousands of dollars in repairs. But what if I told you that's not always true? Some foreclosures are only a few years old, some are in beautiful neighborhoods, and some look almost identical to every other home on the street. The only difference is who owns them. Today I'm going to explain what a foreclosure really is, why these homes become available, and how you can find them, and most importantly, how to avoid the costly mistakes that many buyers make. If you've ever thought about buying a foreclosure or you've automatically ruled them out, I think this video might change your perspective. So let's get started. What is a foreclosure? A foreclosure happens when a homeowner falls behind on their mortgage payments, and after going through the legal foreclosure process, the lender takes ownership of the property. Now that doesn't mean the home is in poor condition. In fact, many foreclosures are well-maintained homes that simply ended up in a difficult financial situation. Life happens. Sometimes people lose a job, sometimes there's a divorce, sometimes there's a medical emergency or another unexplained hardship. Unfortunately, these situations can lead to foreclosure. For the next buyer though, that can create an opportunity. So don't believe every foreclosure myth. One thing that frustrates me is how many people automatically assume that every foreclosure is a terrible house. That is simply not true. Yes, some foreclosures need significant repairs, but others are move-in ready. The important thing is evaluating each property on its own merits, instead of assuming every foreclosure is either a bargain or a disaster. Every home is different. So why I'm making this video is if you've watched my channel for a while, you know my goal is not to pressure anyone into buying a home. My goal is to help you understand your options so you can make smart decisions. There are opportunities in every market. Sometimes there's traditional resale homes, sometimes there's new construction, and sometimes there's foreclosures. The key is understanding the pros, the risks, and knowing how to evaluate whether foreclosure is actually a good opportunity for you. So can you finance a foreclosure? One of the biggest misconceptions is that you have to pay cash to buy a foreclosure, and that is not true. Many buyers use financing. So depending on the property and your qualifications, you may be able to purchase a foreclosure using FHA, VA, USDA, conventional. The right loan depends on both your financial situation and the condition of the property. And that's why getting pre-approved before you start shopping is one of the smartest things you can do. So where can you find foreclosures? This is another common question. Where do I find these homes? The good news is that many foreclosures are listed right alongside traditional homes on the MLS. There are also bank-owned properties, HUD-owned homes, public foreclosure auctions, and other resources that your real estate agent can help you navigate. The key is not finding some secret list that nobody knows about. The key is understanding the process and being prepared when the right opportunity comes along. So now that we've covered what foreclosures really are, let's talk about what happens after you find one. Should you buy a foreclosure that's being sold as is? What inspections should you order? What repairs will banks typically make? And what will they not fix? And those are questions we'll answer next. Can you finance a foreclosure? One of the biggest misconceptions I hear is that you have to pay cash to buy a foreclosure, and that's simply not true. Many buyers purchase foreclosures using traditional financing, and depending on the property and your qualifications, you may be able to use FHA, VA, USDA, conventional, and the right loan is going to depend on two things. First, your financial situation. Second, the condition of the property. And for example, if the home has major health or safety issues, some loan programs may require those problems to be repaired before they will approve financing. So that's why getting pre-approved before you start shopping is one of the smartest things you can do. A lender can explain which loan program fits your situation and what price range makes sense for your budget. And what does as is really mean? Another phrase you're going to hear a lot when buying a foreclosure is as is. And that sounds very intimidating, I know. But here's what that actually means. When a bank sells a home as is, they're generally saying they are not planning to make cosmetic repairs or negotiate repairs after the inspection. They're selling the home in its current condition. But that does not mean you should skip your due diligence. You should still understand exactly what you're buying before you close. This is the biggest piece of advice I can give you is to always get a professional home inspection. The inspection gives you an opportunity to learn about the property's condition before you become an owner. And depending on the home, you may also want additional inspections such as a sewer scope, a septic inspection, a well inspection, a roof inspection, HVAC testing, especially if the home has been vacant for a while. So many foreclosures sit empty for months before they're sold, and during that time, small problems can become much bigger ones. And that's why inspections are so important. So what if the inspection finds problems? And this is the good news. An inspection does not automatically mean that you're committed to buying the home. If your purchase contract includes an inspection contingency, you'll have the opportunity to review the inspection results before moving forward. If major issues are discovered, you may be able to negotiate, ask questions, or depending on the terms of your contract, decide not to move forward with the purchase. That's one of the reasons inspections are so valuable. They help you make an informed decision instead of guessing. Now, what will the banks repair? This is another question I get all the time, and the short answer is it depends. Every lender is different. Many banks sell foreclosures exactly as they sit, and they do not plan to make repairs. However, there are situations where significant safety or lending issues are addressed before the home is sold, especially if the repairs are necessary for certain types of financing. So there isn't one rule that applies to every foreclosure, and that's why it's important to evaluate each property individually instead of making assumptions. Now, ask questions before you buy. One piece of advice I don't think enough buyers hear is this: ask questions. If the home has been vacant, ask your real estate agent how long it's been empty. If you have the opportunity, talk to the neighbors. They can often tell you valuable information about the property, like how long it's been vacant or whether there have been recurring issues. The more information you have before making an offer, the more confident you will feel about your decisions. Now that we've talked about financing, inspections, and buying a foreclosure as is, let's answer the questions everyone wants to know. Are foreclosures actually a good deal? And how do you know if you're getting a bargain or buying someone else's expensive problems? We're going to cover how to evaluate value, avoid common mistakes, and decide whether a foreclosure is the right fit for you. So after everything we've talked about, you might be wondering, are foreclosures actually worth buying? My answer is sometimes they are and sometimes they are not. Just because a home is a foreclosure does not automatically mean it's a bargain. Some bank-owned homes are priced below market value because they need repairs. Others are priced very close to market value because they're in excellent condition. That's why I always tell buyers to compare the property to similar homes that have recently sold in the same neighborhood. The goal is not simply to buy a foreclosure, the goal is to buy a great home at a fair price. Now I want you to think about resale before you buy, and here's something I encourage every buyer to do. Don't just think about buying the house, think about selling it someday. Ask yourself, is it in a desirable location? Does it have good curb appeal? Is the floor plan functional? Is there enough parking? Is there room for future improvements? Are there any features that will appeal to future buyers? Even if you think you'll live there forever, life changes. Buying a home with good resale potentially can make a huge difference years down the road. And don't let a good price blind you. Sometimes buyers get excited because they think they found an amazing deal, and maybe they have, but don't let the purchase price be the only thing you look at. Ask yourself, how much will it cost to make this home the way I want it? Will I need a new roof? New flooring, paint, kitchen updates, landscaping. These costs add up quickly. Sometimes paying a little more for a home that's in better condition ends up saving you money in the long run. Now, every market has opportunities. One thing I've learned over the years is this: there are opportunities in every market. Sometimes it's a foreclosure, sometimes it's a traditional resale, sometimes it's a brand new construction home offering incentives. The key is keeping an open mind. Don't become so focused on one type of property that you overlook an even better opportunity somewhere else. Now, if I could give you one piece of advice, it would be this: don't assume you can buy a home without talking to a lender first. I've met so many people who thought they needed 20% down or perfect credit or years of saving, and many of them were surprised to learn they qualified for loan programs they didn't even know existed. The first step is not shopping for homes. The first step is getting a plan. Finding out what you qualify for, understanding your monthly payment, and knowing your budget. Then start looking. That's how you buy with confidence. Foreclosures are not something to fear. They're simply another option in the housing market. So some will need a lot of work and others are move-in ready. And the key is understanding how the process works, getting the right inspections, comparing values, and making sure the home fits your long-term goals. The more informed you are, the better decisions you'll make, and that's exactly why I create these videos, to help you feel confident before making one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. And if you're thinking about buying in the near future, or you're wanting to buy a foreclosure, go ahead, click the link below, fill out that short form, and I'll connect with you in the next 24 hours. I can connect you with real estate agents who help with foreclosures in all 50 states, and on the lending side, we can help in almost all 50 states. So I look forward to speaking with you, and I will see you in the next video.
I can put you in a house on a hill, put you in a condo in the city, put you in a mansion, put you in a mansion in Miami, put you in a mansion in Beverly Hills, put you in a mansion.